Okay, here we go. You ready? Today's daddy time is a story about a strange, bizarre yellow creature. This yellow creature was very, very young, but it lived in the middle of a world that had never seen him before. Nobody knew where he came from or how he even got there. He had two little buck teeth on the top part of his gums and no teeth on the bottom. Just two little buck teeth that would come up over his underlip. And every time he would smile, those two teeth would glisten real pretty. He didn't have two eyes like a human being. He didn't have three eyes like a weird creature, No, no, no. He was a different type of monster, a cutie patootie little monster. He only had one single eyeball, but it was really, really big and right in the center of his face. It was green. He had these very dark green eyes. And when anyone looked at it, they were absolutely mesmerized by it. Between his big cyclops green eye and his two little buck teeth that shined bright every time he smiled, the world fell in love with the cute, adorable little monster. He had yellow feathers like Big Bird, and he had little quack feet like a duck. And he would waddle along the street, not quacking, not ducking, not speaking like Big Bird, but just waddling down the street like a little penguin. He had the same mannerisms as a little penguin. He had flippers like penguins, and he had an adorable face, just like a penguin. But the real question was, could he swim? People found him walking down the street all the time in a little neighborhood in Cleveland, Ohio, where there were huge billboards of LeBron James asking about Witness and King James and all those basketball-oriented thingamabobbies. But the little yellow monster didn't really care about that sort of thing. He just wanted to waddle all day long. And he would waddle and waddle and waddle some more. He would waddle and waddle and waddle some more. And while he waddled, guess what? He waddled all the way out of Ohio and into another area called Michigan. And when he hit Michigan, you know what he found? Well, eventually, his little Cyclops 2 buck teeth happiness with the yellow feathers and the duck feet, they found a little thing called the Great Lakes. And when they got to the Great Lakes, do you know what he did? Of course, he smiled, but do you know what else he did? Daddy's gonna tell you what else he did. He jumped right into that big old lake. He did. I don't know which lake, because I don't know which lake actually is in Michigan. Superior, Erie, I don't know. Ontario, I don't know. I got nothing. Let's just call it Lake Superior. How about that? So the little yellow monster went and he did a big old dive into the water. It was a little frigid for most human beings, but the little monster had fur. So it was okay, even if it got wet. And he used his beautiful little duck feet to go vroom, vroom, vroom into the water. He went under the water. He went and he jumped out of the water. He had the most happiest of times in the water. He was indeed just like a little penguin. He was so very happy. So very happy. And you could see it on his face because every time anyone looked at him, they would see his big two buck teeth and a smile on each side of his face. He was so happy that he jumped out of the water and he motioned for all the human beings that were watching him to come on in, to jump on in. So they grabbed their telephones and they grabbed their cell phones and they stopped recording all the little yellow monster. They put the phones down and they got ready because they were going to go swimming with the monster. Luckily for them, it was an adorable little monster, just like you. And you are so very adorable, aren't you? Tell me how adorable you are. Oh, yes, you are so adorable. The little monster with the yellow fur and the duck feet and the big green cyclops eye and the 2 buck teeth was so happy that all these new people were out swimming with him. He felt like he had a new place to be and to hang out. And he was so very happy. He decided that this place called Lake Superior was the bestest place in the whole wide world. And he was so happy. He never left. Days after days after days, people would come from all over the world to see this beautiful yellow little monster. And every day, he would tell them, come on into the water. He didn't say that because he doesn't speak because he's a yellow monster. But he sure did give him a wave and say, come on in. And every time, people would swim with him. All new people. People from all over the world. They would come to see him and to swim with him. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing. And as time grew further and further, animals, mammals, reptiles, all sorts of other beautiful creatures and animals would come to the water too. And they too wanted to join in the fun. Dolphins would actually let the little yellow monster on top of their bodies so he could hold on to their fin. And when he held on to their fin, they would zip across the water. I have no idea if dolphins are in Lake Michigan or Lake Superior or Lake Erie or Lake Ontario or any of that. But it doesn't matter because this is my story. And dolphins were swimming with the yellow monster. And it was the most beautiful thing in the world because everyone had an amazing time together. They were so happy. They were so very happy. Just like you. Just like you. You're very happy. And that concludes the end of chapter 1 of the cute little adorable yellow monster with the cyclops eye, which was green, and the 2 buck teeth, and the yellow fur, and the little duck feet. Stay tuned tomorrow, or later today if the child isn't sleeping, and we will continue with chapter 2 of the little yellow monster with Daddy Time! Daddy Time! Say bye. Bye. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Say if you like this video and you like this story, please subscribe and like the video. We'll be here later. We're going to make videos on the daily because we're always telling stories, aren't we? Trying to keep you entertained. I love you. Boop.